We're back.
Season 2, baby.
Hey, Linds.
Hey, D. I can't believe it.
It's finally here.
It's finally here. This is only the 32nd time we've recorded this episode.
Don't ask how many times we've said, hey, Linds.
Hey, T. Over and over and over. It's been great. It's been so good.
Oh, yeah, it has.
But we're so excited to be here.
Yes, season 2.
Season 1 was great. We have made some real big changes for season 2, though. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's talk about the first one.
Okay, what is it?
What is it? North Georgia focus? What's
Yeah.
our focus going to be this season?
So season 1 and everything that we've done prior to now has really been focused on where we were located. And while we are still located here, and that has not changed, we are going to kind of tone down the talking about North Georgia because we believe that what we're doing here can be replicated everywhere. Everyone can have curiosity about what's going on in their neighborhood. Everybody can choose to deep dive specific topics and go find the magical organizations in their area that are loving their neighbors on the fringes. And so while we are still here, you are wherever you are, and we want to accommodate discussions for everybody.
Yeah. I think one of the major questions that people asked me was, oh, is it just North Georgia based? And so this is awesome that we're just expanding and giving practical ways that you're able to do it anywhere you are. And the second thing is, this is pretty big.
Okay. What is it?
We changed our name.
We changed our name. Well, kind of. We're still a Wayfind Collective podcast, but that's not our title anymore. Our name is...
You don't know.
You don't know. You do not know.
How do you feel about that?
Fight me. That's how I feel about it, and
She's
I
ready.
love it. I love it. Okay, let's talk about why you don't know. One, we want to reiterate that it's okay to say, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know the answers to that. Because we're surrounded by people who think they know and feel like they know, and we have been people who think we know and feel like we know how the answers to everything. And we're trying to shift our orientation a little bit and say it's okay to say, I don't know. I have never lived that experience. I have never had to deal with that personally. I have, I've just not, I'm not equipped to answer that. It's okay to say, I don't know. Let me ask more questions. I have so many more questions. And it's okay to not have an answer for a lot of things, to just be curious and to be a good neighbor through your ability to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also just kind of want to punch everybody in the face a little bit and say, you don't know what you think you know. Bam.
I don't want to punch anybody in the face. For the record,
we're a little different.
I'm going to give you a cozy pillow and a
say,
soft
"Come.
spot on the couch.
Come talk to me.
Yeah.
We're buds.
She will fight you.
I'll fight you all day.
So
So
choose your experience. Okay, what's the third thing we got going on?
Third thing is we have a new format that we're bringing to you live. Well, not live, but we're bringing to you.
You may have already noticed.
Hey, video camera. We are filming our podcast now so that we can show up on places like YouTube Shorts, YouTube Podcasts. Spotify has podcasting videos. And, of course, we do our Reels on Instagram. So we needed a lot of footage, a lot of content.
And we have that.
We have it now. We have so much. The blooper reel is like 75 hours long. So get ready.
So now you can enjoy us on Spotify or on YouTube if you want to
Or,
watch these faces.
oh, yeah. Apple
That's what I was
Podcast
saying,
does
yeah,
not.
either.
Google Podcast does not. Yeah?
Yeah, we have Apple and podcasts, but they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
video, I don't think.
Okay, yeah, not yet. They'll get there.
They'll get there.
And by that time, we're going to be professionals. For now, we don't know what we're doing.
We don't know.
Oh, we didn't say how many things we have to tell you. We need to tell them.
Okay.
We have 7 changes. 7 changes. If you're watching that on the video, you can see my math skills in action. 7 changes. So we just have talked about 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's number 4?
This has been something we've been talking about for a while.
Oh, y'all, get
But
ready.
It is finally coming to fruition.
It is.
a youth podcast.
Youth podcast. Okay, so the whole thought behind this is very exciting. We kept thinking, we're having these difficult conversations. We are facilitating discussions that we're having behind the scenes too about topics that are uncomfortable to talk about. And so we feel like the more we talk about them, the more we can ask really good questions, the better we can love our neighbors well. And I have 4 kids, and I keep thinking, well, I don't want my kids to have to wait till they're in their 30s to start doing this deconstruction work. Yeah. Unlearn everything you've learned and start over. I'd like to help them now as a mom. So the idea is really giving parents, teachers, coaches, any mentors or friends to children in any capacity, a way to kind of broach some difficult topics with your students or youth or kiddos or however you want to, in a easy to listen to format. And then you guys have good conversations after the fact. We have big plans for this down the road, including like some curriculum that we want to do. We're going to start with some really generic and basic outlines. But for now, we are just starting with a youth podcast.
Yeah.
And the way that's going to work is every 3rd episode. So we're keeping the exact same format as last season. Episode 1 is going to introduce a topic and someone who's an expert on that topic because they serve that people group. The 2nd episode is going to be stories. We love the stories episodes.
My favorite episode, always.
And then the 3rd episode, so once you've gotten to get your feet wet in these difficult discussions, then the 3rd episode is going to be the youth episode, and you can listen to it solo. You can listen to it with the youth in your life, or you can send your youth to listen to it there. But we always strongly, highly recommend planning on having some good conversations with them after the fact, because you're the main person in their life, or some of the main people in their life that are going to help shape and mold the kinds of adults they're going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're super pumped. Oh, that one is called
It Could Be You.
It Could Be You, another Wayfind Collective podcast. Very excited about it.
Yeah.
It could be you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's 4 things.
4 things of the 7.
We've got a few more.
Yeah, okay.
So we kind of chewed on this a little bit, but why do we even care about these things? Like, why are we doing this? Yeah. Why does it even matter?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this briefly. I don't know if it's possible. Ready?
It's possible.
Okay, here we go.
This.
One of the thought experiments that I've been exposed to over the past few years, and that has shaped and formed the way I view and function in the world, largely has been this phrase. Okay, are you ready for it? Here it comes. The majority, okay, hold on, not the phrase yet. Let me set it up. The majority.
Here it is. As a kid, growing up, it's a long phrase.
Okay. Whew, okay. Here we go. Yeah. You're a jerk. Here we go. The majority of the problems that we see happening in the world, we think come down to this one phrase. And the phrase is, for real this time, me and mine, even if it's at the expense of you and yours. So I'm going to do what's best for me and my people group, me and my family, me and my neighborhood, me and my race, me and my country, fellow patriots, or whatever you want to say, me and mine, even if it's at the expense of whatever happens to you and your family, you and your country, you and your people, you and your race. It's a dividing line for a lot of humanity. And so the idea is to say, no, we do not subscribe to that. It's not me and mine at the expense of yours. There's enough for everyone. There's an abundance of resources. Everyone can have enough to flourish and thrive and have a full and healthy and meaningful life. And if you believe that, then you have to sit there we're doing this work as we're saying it. Think through all the times that, you hear about big topics like war, incarceration, or immigration, or refugees coming to the country, or anything like that. And you have to say, are my opinions really coming down to me and mine, even at the expense of you and yours? Yeah. Or do I believe there's enough? What do I really believe?
Yeah. So we talked about some shifts in our thinking, because those of us who have, we're in our middle ages. I never know what to say. They're middle ages. I'm not in the middle ages.
In the middle. Nice.
Have grown up, and we talk about deconstructing and rethinking all these things. We've got some things to shift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What do you think? Well, yeah, I mean, this is a deeper topic, so we're going to try and hit it quickly because we're going to circle back to it over and over and over again throughout the season. That's kind of why we're setting it up right now.
Yeah.
But these shifts, like, what are some of the main ones that you can think of?
Yeah, I think a big one for me is empathy.
Yeah.
I think a good place to start is asking if I'm compelled to care or if I'm compelled to dominate or acquire. So I think if I can start from that place when I'm here, but if I'm listening to something that's like, oh, that doesn't feel good, it makes me uncomfortable, then just ask the question, am I compelled to care about this person? And I think that will help reorient your thinking about it.
Yeah, and you said empathy, and I think it's good to reiterate over and over again. And I haven't studied empathy and like what empathy is and all of that, but I think of empathy as a muscle. Like it's something that it's not that you have it or you don't have it. Everyone has the capacity to have it. It's how much do you have it? How much do you use it? How uncomfortable does it make you to be empathetic? And so that's part of the reason we're doing what we're doing and having the conversations we're having is to like exercise that muscle and ask really, really good questions and try and put ourselves in other people's positions and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What were some other shifts that you had?
The other one was, am I willing to view people and situations with a restorative lens? So am I automatically viewing people as bad, or am I viewing everyone as broken? I want to view myself in that lens.
Right.
So that small shift in my thinking, if I think about someone who's in jail or whatever, I've been kind of conditioned to think, well, they're bad. Then what if that small shift of thinking of them as broken? What does that do in my heart and my ability to listen with an open mind?
Yeah, I love that. And broken can always be mended. It may not look the way it looked or could have looked originally or did look originally, but it can always be mended. Yeah. Whereas bad is just like black and white. You're over there on the bad camp. I'm a good person. You're a bad person. And we are not going to jive because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's back to that me and mine, even at the expense of you and yours. Or what if it's all of us together, no matter what?
Yeah.
Working towards that restorative end. Yeah.
And I think the last big one for me too is, and you talked about this already, but am I an empty cup when I approach conversations that are difficult or topics that are difficult, not difficult? Am I an empty cup?
Yeah.
Or am I just defaulting to what I already think I know?
Yeah.
Like I already have the answer about this, so that's all I want to hear.
Yeah. Like that's my experience, or that's what I've been, or that's how my parents taught me, or that's what my parents and my grandparents think, or this is how we vote and why, or whatever. Instead, being able to say, do I really know?
Yeah.
Like, why are some people so passionate about this and they're on the other end of the spectrum from me?
Right.
And we believe totally different things. Can we take a beat to breathe and consider someone else's perspective? And
be curious. I think that's the key word here. Be willing to ask questions. What's it been like for you as this person?
Right.
And now I think that's a muscle too. It's like empathy. The more that you exercise that curiosity muscle, the more questions you'll have. Yeah.
Thinking to inquire, not thinking to respond. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah. We'll keep coming up with those little
for sure
ditties. They're super fun. Okay. What's next?
Fundraising.
What number is this? This is number
6.
Number 6. We're almost done.
Yeah, we are.
Fundraising. Okay, so this season we are doing something super new and super fun. We are choosing to fundraise for every organization that we feature. So on our webpage, wayfindco.com, on our Facebook at Wayfind Collective, and on our Instagrams at Wayfind Co, you will find opportunities to give, to donate to the organizations that we feature. Of course, you can always donate out there to them directly through their websites, and we give all of that information in every episode. But we want to reach out to our listeners and to our following and say, we love this organization. We love what they're doing. We want to support them in every way that we can. Let's raise as much money as we can. And we talk about what we're raising money for and why, and you guys are just going to love it, and we love it. And I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. Because it's going to be a very tangible way for our listeners to support the things that they hear if they're excited about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're almost done.
That was so fast.
It's only been like 15 minutes.
We did it. We did. Just so you guys know, we recorded this episode several days ago. It was an hour-long episode. So you are welcome. You are welcome.
So our last thing is pretend drum roll.
Because this
insert
table reverberates.
You say it.
Patreon. Dun, dun, dun. So we were trying to think of ways to do a few other things that we really, really wanted to do, but didn't necessarily fit in with the format of this podcast. And we discovered Patreon, and we think that that is the perfect platform for us to be able to, one, fundraise for ourselves a little bit, because we are driving to places to interview people. We are taking equipment and buying equipment constantly. We are, we are doing this kind of full-time-ish, but also a way to get out that really cool, fun content that doesn't necessarily fit in with the way we're doing things now. Yeah. So there's, I think, going to be 3 different levels to start with. We're going to play this out and see how it goes. Level 1 is like the cost of a cup of coffee, giving us a fist bump or a high five and saying we love what you're doing, and that's the thing. The second level, I'm not 100% sure. It's something like maybe 25-ish, and it's going to come with a lot of extra content, including extra podcast episodes where it's really us deep diving topics that we do not talk about for Wayfind podcasts.
Yeah, like what?
Privilege, deconstruction, spiritual abuse within the church. Let's just lay it out there. Our own personal traumas, things that we're learning and being challenged in, things that make us really uncomfortable. We're going ham.
Just kind of like a deep conversation, like we're sitting on the couch together.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Which we have those conversations all the time.
It's true.
And we talk about like body parts and things like that.
Just gonna check my notes real quick.
That's not on there. Like, we talk about everything, and the conversations are golden.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So we want to see if we can put some of that magic in a jar.
Yep.
And bring it to you guys.
That's right.
And then the third level is going to be a little bit of a higher tier, but it's more for people who are wanting to support existing nonprofits that they know of, who maybe need a little bit of help in their branding and or social media realms. We would love to do a quick, easy audit for them and say, here are some things that we think you guys could do to further engage your existing audience and maybe even grow your audience a little bit. So that's something that's giftable. You can gift it to your favorite nonprofit. So very excited about all of that. So it's all in the realm of nonprofit support and love and loving your neighbor and all the things. And we're very, very excited. We are constantly coming up with ideas for Patreon that we don't know if we're going to be able to get to. like if we ever have merch.
I hope so.
We've talked about it so much and for so long, just trying to figure out the details of how to make it happen. But if we ever have merch, having discounts and special sales through the Patreon, we talked about,
like maybe a certain level of our Patreon only gets this mug. Only gets they are the only ones who can have this mug.
Like it's a limited edition, and that's the only way you get it. Yeah. Or we talked about maybe having a sticker club one day, which we have some amazing stickers anyway. So we're just like running through the ideas. We talked about like private groups where we can have our own conversations, and you guys can tell us the things you want us to talk about, or things that questions that you might have, like a Q&R episode, or whatever. We're really gonna have fun with it. It's gonna be pretty
and
awesome.
If you have any ideas that you think would be good, let us know.
That's it. We're looking at you, camera. Okay, so next episode.
Next episode.
We are definitely not thinking about next season. My gosh, we're not even barely started with this one. But next episode we have, do we want to go ahead and announce it?
Yeah, let's tee it up.
All right.
Okay.
Next episode is Motherhood Beyond Bars. Amy Ard. She is the founder and executive director of Motherhood Beyond Bars, and it's probably one of the best episodes that we will ever do.
Yeah,
she's
amazing.
Incredible. The content is insane. What they are doing is not being done anywhere else by anyone else. And I have all the feels right now thinking about it. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think it's going to challenge most of us as like something that we've never even considered. And I love those kinds of episodes because it's just life-changing and mind-blowing.
That's right.
So excited.
So that's the next episode, which will be episode 9. This is 8. That's 9. And then we're off to the start of season 2. That is like 70,000 episodes. Get ready. It's going to be great.
Hope you love us.
Okay. Love y'all. Woo-hoo. We did it.